The painting soon to follow has been titled, Was It a Dream? Dreams float ethereally forever. They never die. But was it a dream? Was everything mostly a dream? And is that the true reality? My acrylic on canvas intimates everything I feel. About whether it was a dream.
What is this?
Well, as you know, I rarely, if ever, explain my expressionist art. There's no need to explain my fine art and realistic art, even though sometimes it's mistaken, like the famous Lucia portrait, which is sometimes mistaken, frequently mistaken, as being of you, even though I hadn't met you at the time that was painted. But it hangs in the green room and is one of the paintings I did before entering into expressionism fully. And this ultimate expressionist picture, I won't say portrait because it's of many people in a way, is as you know titled, Was It a Dream? Which itself is taken from something I read more than once as a young, very young teenager. By the French author, 19th century. I did like 19th century authors, as we know, from an early age. Guy de Maupassant, and it was nicely translated from the original French. And the Guy de Maupassant title of a short story, he wrote many short stories, very short really, was the same as this title. And I often think of it. I used to know most of it by heart. It's that impressive. But it triggered the idea, the notion of this painting, which I only began to understand when it was almost finished, as being not one, not two, but many people, all of them female, all of them people I'd loved, starting with my first love to my last. And of course, my last, namely you, I've known for most of my life, and you've known me for certainly more than half of your life, in fact, rather more than that. And half of my life I've known you. But there are many before whom I loved. I've always appreciated females, and rightly so. And I love to celebrate them, not just work with them, as I have in various mediums, whether as an actor or as a photographer or as eventually a painter. But I admire them immensely, and I only remember them with utter and complete joy. And so this ended up being a sort of a concentrated image of all those images. Not a collage, but a conflation. I'm quite pleased with it.
Well, I can see different faces if I look at it from different angles, and I can see me in it, and but obviously it's not a portrait of me per se, and it's quite interesting. So I can see many faces in there, and it's interesting.
As with all my expressionist and abstract expressionist work, the important thing is to feel it, which is why I seldom, if ever, explain anything. More important that one feels what it conveys rather than see it. So I want this to be felt as before, but I don't want it to be misunderstood. So easily things that have form, and this clearly has form, can be misinterpreted or misunderstood. And this mustn't be misunderstood. It begs for me the question, which has been with me since my early youth and has been the case throughout my life, and it really is about my life. Was it a dream?